Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Dime's Worth with Dan. We're going to do something different today. I've got this new software that allows me to show you my desktop. So we're going to go through some things about the Black Lives Matter organization to just give you some more information about it. But before we do that, I don't know if you've watched Woke with Wes, his episode this week, but it was about a local issue. And to answer Wes's question in the video, yeah, buddy, that kid should have got his butt beat and deserved every bit of it. All right, so let's get started with Dime's Worth with Dan. So what we're talking about today is basically where the money's going when you donate to Black Lives Matter. There's a number of Black Lives Matters out there that you can donate to, but the main one that when you see it on TV um, is Black Lives Matter Global Network. So if you're gonna donate to Black Lives Matter, you're going to be directed to a donations page for a company called Act Blue. So what Act Blue is they are, not unlike GoFundMe. However, they have very strong political leanings. Um, not most, but a lot of Democrat candidates use that as donations for their campaigns. Joe Biden uses it. If you saw my Facebook post where Travis's exchange with the Joe Biden Facebook website, I blew up a picture that showed the Act Blue emblem on his Facebook page. So the money gets collected by Act Blue, um, think about that. I mean, Act Blue, so it's blue, so obviously it's a left-leaning company. So why would an organization like Black Lives Matter choose a left leaning, Democrat supported donation function to get their money? I don't know. Maybe you can answer that for yourself, but it's interesting to think about what they're using a left wing company. So, anyways, the money goes to Black Act Blue. Now, here's the kicker: Black Lives Matter's Global Network Foundation is a 501c3 corporation, but they don't have tax exempt status. So what they do is they are partnered with another company. It's called a fiscal sponsorship, and that company is called Thousand Currents. So basically, what happens is the money you want to give to Black Lives Matter, if you're interested in supporting their uh, Marxist insane agenda. But hey, by all means, it's a free country still, at least for a little while longer, and you can donate to whatever you want. So you're going to donate to them. The money goes to Act Blue. Act Blue distributes that money to um, a company called Thousand Currents. So, and then Thousand Currents is supposed to distribute that money back to Black Lives Matter in the form of grants. So let's talk about Thousand Currents. So Thousand Currents is a company that has a pretty radical left-wing agenda. So there's the Black Lives Matter. And if you look at what they support, you're looking at food sovereignty, alternative economy. So basically, they don't like capitalism and climate justice. So there's, you know, they're talking about global warming, etc., which is just not true. I mean, that's why they changed the name to climate change, because global warming was proven untrue. So, they talk about things like here's your evidence for bottom up approaches to work. Um, And this, you can check out their webpage on your own. They're a 501c3 charity, and they have this tax exempt status. So in order to get them the money to Black Lives Matters without a huge chunk of it being um, taken to taxes, they have set up this system, which is perfectly legal. There's no legal issues with this. It's just a way to get around taxes, which, you know what, the tax code is massive, and there's nothing wrong with getting around taxes. So basically, like I walked you through, so you go online, you put money in through Act Blue that's supporting Black Lives Matter. That money gets distributed to Thousand Currents, and the idea is that Thousand Currents would distribute it out in the form of grants to Black Lives Matter. Well, this article here, they did an audit of Thousand Currents to see where the Black Lives Matter money went in 2019. Now, granted, this was before they were huge, but they've been around since 2013, so there was still a significant amount of money that went into the company. But we're going to talk here in percentages so that it doesn't matter the dollar amounts. We're just going to tell you where that money's going. So I've highlighted an area. It says, according to information provided to factcheck.org, again, not a right-wing website at all, Thousand Currents, about 1/4, 25% of Black Lives Matter expenditures in fiscal year 2019 went to salaries, benefits, and payroll taxes. So that's to pay for their employees. 25% went to pay for their employees. 46% went to consulting fees. But the audit didn't provide any details of what those consulting fees were and who they went to. And a small fraction was spent on grants. And most of the rest was allocated to, accounting, bank fees, IT, insurance, legal fees, office expenses, all that stuff that a normal corporation would have as part of their expenses. So you read that whole thing. Basically, when you donate to Black Lives Matter is basically you're paying the salaries of the people who work for Black Lives Matter. You're paying for consultants to who knows what, tell them how to burn down buildings and throw trash cans through windows and burn up cop cars. And then a small fraction actually goes to Black Lives Matter. So Black Lives Matter will tell you that their money is going to education, community groups, things that are going to help the inner cities get better. And in reality, when you pull back the curtain and you pull back the layers and you look at where all this money goes, it's going to salaries and it's going to consulting fees. Very little is actually going to what they're telling you it's going to. So all this stuff is available online. And like I've said, 1,000 times on Facebook and in conversations with people, do your research. You can find this stuff out is easy. It was just a simple web search for me to find it out. But don't rely on what you're hearing on the TV. The people on that screen are interested in only a couple things. Number one is telling you things in a way that it fits their agenda, whatever that is. So you're looking at MSNBC and CNN will give you, the left-wing agenda, the spin, so that it makes Trump look bad and it looks positive for Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton when she was running, or whoever else on the left. And then Fox News is going to give you, the right-wing tilt. It's going to make Trump look good in most cases, although Fox News has been pretty rough lately. But basically what you're getting on TV, and that includes the network news, ABC, NBC, and CBS, is a spin. They don't give you just the facts and let you figure it out like they used to in the old days. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want to tell you how to think. So if you're getting your information um, to be a responsible citizen so that you know what's going on and you're getting it from that rectangle that's hanging up on your wall, you're not informed. You're manipulated by whatever side you're listening to. So what you're going to have to do is take the same amount of time that you would spend, watching that hour and a half news program or programs, and get on the internet, research. If you hear something, go research it. Just like I did here with the Black Lives Matter. Now, nobody's breaking any laws with this, but you pull back the layers, and what they're telling you is just not true. The money you're giving to them is not going. Very, very little of it is going to inner city programs like they tell you it is. They're paying themselves, and they're paying whatever these consultants are. I would love to find out who they are, but that's something that's being kept um, under wraps. Now, at some point, Black Lives Matter is going to get the full 501c3 and get tax exempt status. Once they do, then they'll be responsible for their own audits. They'll be audited, and you'll get a lot more information about where that money's going. You remember when they audited the Clinton Foundation, you found out that only 4% of the money was actually going to the things they told you it was going to. So um, just do the research and try to do it from all sides. Try to get articles, etc., from both sides, because there's a whole bunch of slant on the internet too. So if you can pull up a website like factcheck.org, which is basically slants everything to the right, and you can get information in that on that website that tells you that there's an issue with where the money's going in Black Lives Matters, and then you know you're onto something, because there's no way to spin that. I mean, it's not like you're getting it from a right wing website that's telling you some BS. It's actually from a left leaning wannabe fact checker. Um, so that's my 2 cents. My dime's worth with Dan, worth a little more than 2 cents, but inflation is taking it down. Uh, so thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and hopefully the doctor will give me the green light, and we'll be able to start the podcast up, and then we'll get back to business as usual. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching this video, and we'll talk to you soon.